Hi, I'm Lazze and I'm back here on YouTube again with some tips and tricks, and this time it will be a fast way to do it with a deep shrinker and stretcher and a little smooth out in the English wheel. So what I'm going to do like a cab corner for a pickup, an old pickup, and I'm going to shrink this part here and make the whole thing like this. So the first thing when I'm going to do this is, here it starts, this part is straight, this part is straight there as well. So it's only this part that I'm going to shrink. This one I can roll in the English wheel and just bend that, either with a rubber band or if I'm twisting the panel, I can do the same thing here. So here, what I'm going to do here is, if you're thinking about the pie shape, like that. So if I'm shrinking more on the edge and less the further in I go, I can do this to the metal. And you see that when I shrink that, is my hands actually curve this way, and that's what's going to happen with the pen. If people using too much of the pressure and the same pressure all the way in, this will be in an angle, but this will not be round. It will be a flat surface there like this, but it's not going to be round. So it's very important you're thinking in a pie shape. So more pressure and less the further in you go. So I'm using the deep shrinker to do this, and I don't need to go to the wheel and start doing this in the wheel. I can start with the deep shrinker and do this. So I'm starting here, and I think it's a good thing if I start one row on the edge first like this. And then you see how that looks like. I used a little more pressure, so I had a little more bubble there than I had there. That's okay, because now I'm going to go more pressure on the edge again and less all the way into that point there. So I can do 1, 2 there, and then I go further in like this and loose up the pressure. And I can go a little light on the way back too. And then I do 2 high pressure there, and then less pressure the further in I go. So whatever you're going to do with the shrinker and the stretcher, be consistent with your shrinking and the stretching. The more smooth surface you get, the less job you need to do when you go over to the English wheel to smooth it out. So here I have a little damage there, so what I'm going to do there, light pressure, so I actually don't shrink it, but just tap it down a little bit there so I get rid of that little ridge that I had there. So that could be a good start. I think I will go a little more, but go probably one more time and use a little more pressure in this area there. Because I saw it was a little high and I want the highest to be there. And this is 19 gauge, so it's 1 millimeter thick. So you see now that the piece is actually a little taller now. So what I'm going to do now before I go to the English wheel, I'm going to shrink the edge a little more so it tips down a little more like that. like that. Now I can go back to the English wheel and smooth this out. So I'm over here at the English wheel, and before I start smoothing this out, I would like to bend this. And I could do that with a rubber band, to put the rubber band on the English wheel, or if I'm bending it over this lower wheel. And in this case, I prefer to roll it and bend it. So I'm pushing down my left hand a little bit. There you can see the result after that. Now I'm going to do this part of it. Then I can smooth this out and maybe go and adjust some shrinking with it. So when I bend this, I have a low pressure in the English wheel because I only want it to grab the wheels, to grab the metal, so I can, but no stretching. So that's what it looks like there. And what I want this to be straight when I'm done, so it's flat to the table. But let me smooth this out a little bit there now. So let's see what this looks like. And I can see that, and you probably can see that I have a little low spot there. It's probably that I can go in with a shrinker here and just tap it down and shrink it a little bit more here. And then this low spot will be less. So I'm actually shrinking the high spot. So I have little on this side as well. So I will make sure that when I go back to the wheel to smooth it out, that I can't feel any high and low spot there. So let's go over to the deep shrinker again. So I don't shrinking much on the edge, I'm shrinking a little further in to see if I can get rid of the high spot there. And I go a little over the bubble there, but I have very little pressure there. And then I go a little more pressure there. See if this one feels much better now. So let's do this part here. It's not so much on this side. I'll move it over there a little bit and blend it in. That's the whole purpose with that. So now I don't have the low spots there. I still have a little ridge there, so let's go over that ridge. Yeah, I think that is better. So now I think I can go over to the English wheel and smooth this out before I'm going to stretch the other side. It can be a little tough the closer to the edge I go there when I smooth it out, because it's so much thicker on the edge there. Little bending with my hands. It's okay. Let's bend this down a little bit so I can. So this could actually be at the bottom of a cab corner for an old pickup. So that could be very quick done with a deep shrinker and smooth it out with English wheel. And all we do is cut, bend, shrink and stretch. That's those 4 elements we're dealing with. And when you understand what happens when we're using one or more of those 4 elements in a combination, we can control a flat piece of metal. And that's exactly what I have done here. So I hope that was helpful for you. And if you want more information, you can go to www.lazzemetalshaping.com. Thank you for watching.